Okay, whatever. There we go.
And Minnie showed up.
Yeah, we did. We're here. I am sorry that took so long. That was
No, it's all right.
supposed to be the day. Let's do this, and we'll do this.
It's all good. It's given me a chance to look at strollers and still not decide what I want.
I can see that being a tough decision. I wouldn't
It's
have any idea what I would want to do for a stroller.
it's like slightly overwhelming.
Well, I can imagine.
Because like you want to buy the right one, and then you're like, okay, well then I need to make sure that like everything works well together.
Mhm.
Like I want a car seat that straps into the stroller and like doesn't have issues. And I'm like, but I don't know which one's the right one.
Yeah. I feel like every new parent goes through that kind of thing, and then you get recommendations, but that doesn't necessarily answer all your questions. And it's like you can get the stroller that comes with, or that does what you're talking about, but it might not necessarily come with like the car seat part of it. Then you have to try to
Yeah.
find that separately, and you're not, even if it's the same brand, you're not necessarily sure that it's going to be compatible.
Yep. It's
Oh,
a nightmare.
it's my current nightmare.
Okay, finding a crib was like the easiest part. That was surprisingly easy
Oh, no shit.
because I'm like, I kind of know what I wanted, and like I can go from there nice and easy. Finding a stroller, impossible. Might as well give up.
Is it that there are too many options?
I think so. And
Okay.
like, ideally, I want like a specific car seat that grows with them. So then, like, instead of having to buy a bigger car seat and then like a booster seat, it like
Yeah,
has out all of the parts and you just adjust it as they get bigger
that's pretty cool.
because
I
that
don't think
feels
I've ever.
like the smart thing to do.
Yeah, which is also a smart thing to invent because then you like build in brand loyalty.
True. But it's it feels impossible to like figure out what I want because there's just so many options and there's just so many.
It's overwhelming.
It
You
is.
suffer.
It's a lot.
What is that? You suffer from a wealth of when a phrase when you when what you're suffering from is having too much.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Too much. It's ah, too much.
My brain is still catching up from. I'm just happy I don't work until Monday.
That's
This is my
nice.
yeah, this is my long weekend.
I
Try to
have a
relax,
weird
get
work
some stuff
schedule
done.
now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get 3 days on, 1 day off, work a day, and then I'm off for two.
Oh, that's not too bad. It's
No,
definitely a little
it's
wonky, but we'll take some getting used to, I suppose.
yeah. Yeah. I'm so like today's my Sunday and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to work tomorrow.
Yeah, that's always the fucking worst. It's one
Hmm.
thing that I have actually come to appreciate about the post office is that without having regular weekends, the vast majority of your days off are essentially a Sunday. So it's kind of teaching me to be a little more efficient with my days off, but I usually just do nothing anyway.
Yeah.
So
I
not always
I
great.
at least called the hospital to set up a tour
Oh,
because
cool.
you have to do that. You have to set up like maternity ward tours.
Oh, wow.
And the first time I tried calling, they had a number and they're like, call this person and like leave a message. Well, it's been almost 2 weeks and I haven't heard from this person. So I just called them and was like, hey, I want to set up a tour. And they're like, let me take down your info for our manager and she will get back to you. And I'm like, okay.
Because it's like it feels like something I already did.
But I don't know. Hopefully it works.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Peculiar Pairings.
Hello.
How you all doing? I'm gonna assume they said great because I can't actually hear them.
That is a great assumption.
That's I'm doing okay. My name is Matt.
My name is Celine. Welcome.
Welcome. Yes, this is our little show where we read a story and we have a treat, and hopefully it's not too scary or sad, but sometimes we share some laughs, and that's okay. We go through a whole gamut of emotions while we're going through these stories, and this one
Yeah.
might be a little spooky. Because Celine, what are we talking about this week?
We are talking about the Queen Mary.
Yeah. And I think we kind of brought it up a little bit last week, where like if you're a fan of the Watcher YouTube series, you'll remember the Ghoul Boys and back in their BuzzFeed
Yes.
days. And
Which I did revisit for this actually.
oh, did you? I was gonna say I haven't
Mhm.
watched them in a while. I'm still subscribed to Watcher, and I have all of their episodes like queued up, but I haven't gone back in a while. And I just remember the first time that Shane was hearing the story about when he had his like encounter on the Queen Mary, and like his toothbrush like fell over or something, and Shane was just like that's it, like is that the whole
Yeah.
that's the whole haunting? He's like it was scary, man. He's like yeah, but and then I love
Well,
how
he
he
had
has
someone like poking his face throughout the night and he thought it was
I
his
forgot
friend,
about
but his
that.
friend was like definitely like dead asleep.
I did forget about that.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
like the toothbrush thing happened like the next
Well, and
morning.
right, and it is like it is significant because they did have footage of the toothbrush, but even that,
Yeah.
Shane's just like, that's it, man. Like it's like, come on. It's just yeah. But so that's what we're talking about this week, and we have a pairing of a delicious brunch, lunch, or evening kind of thing. Of I went to Raisin Cane's and I got some chicken tenders and French fries, and I actually ended up going to a Culver's for a strawberry shake. That is our pairing for tonight. Celine, where did you go to get your
I went to
snacks?
the wonderful Chick-fil-A.
Oh, nice.
I got some chicken strips, some fries. I got a little bit of fruit because I'm like, I should get something a little healthier. And then
Yeah,
I got a strawberry shake.
I kind of did something similar in the sense that when you go to Raisin Cane's, they don't have a lot of options for like how you order stuff because they really only have
True.
chicken strips, fries, like Texas toast, and then coleslaw. Like that's it. So you can either order all of those things a la carte, or you can get in like a combo. But they don't really have any combos that come without a drink. And
Yeah.
so you can just tell them I don't want the drink, and it's like, but it's included in the price. So my healthy option as I was going through them was their sweet tea, which versus everything
Okay.
else, yeah, like so I was looking at Bart's root beer, and for their large cup is like almost 700 calories, and the sweet tea was only 350. And I'm like, that's better. I'm like, that's almost like fruit, technically. I'm like, that's basically what it is. I mean, tea is really healthy, so it's got to be good. And
Yeah.
then I also got a large strawberry shake. So yeah, not exactly the healthiest of treats, but it was delicious.
You know,
And
tis
I
what
did
it is.
yeah, and I reached out to you a little bit earlier and mentioned that the tie-in for this one is a little different, and I felt the need to give you a little bit of a hint, which for the audience was just essentially that it has to do with the concept of ships having like sister ships, and they tend to be like produced in kind of like a batch sort of, so they have like similar ships. And I did make a mistake because when I was thinking of this whole thing, I was under the impression that the Queen Mary had a specific sister ship another famous ship, and
Mm,
I was mistaken. So it doesn't
that
quite
is
tie
true. She
in,
does not.
right?
Well,
But
I have a way we can tie this in.
okay,
My thinking is that since the Queen Mary is like a cruise liner, like a cruise ship,
yeah,
one of the safer options to eat is probably the chicken nuggets if they have
okay.
it. Because I cannot tell you how many times I've heard of people being like, "Yeah, I got the seafood and then I got sick on like a cruise."
Oh yeah, oh for sure. Yep. I
And the shake, because a lot of times they got all you can eat ice cream.
oh yeah, that's
So
true. And they usually have all the fixins and stuff.
that's my tie-in
All right.
for
Well,
it.
I didn't give you a lot of stuff to go on, but I for once I think I actually have a slightly better interpretation. And
Okay.
let me know what you. So the whole reason about like the sister ship thing was
Mm.
I thought that the Queen Mary's sister ship was part of the Titanic line. So I thought they were
Ah,
sister ships, but they're not.
no.
But
That would be the Britannia.
Exactly. Which I learned as I had like after long after I had already texted you about like what the plan was, and I realized,
Yeah,
oh, I'm completely wrong. But I went ahead with it anyways because we have a sort of sister episode of this one,
we
which this
do.
pairing is based off of. We did the Titanic, and we did fish and chips,
Yeah.
and we did an alcoholic version that's kind of a strawberry shake that involved tequila rose. And so I
Yeah,
was
we
like,
did.
oh yeah, so I was like, we'll do the Queen Mary is sort of like a family friendly attraction nowadays. It's more or less
Yeah.
just a hotel basically, which I'm not trying to like ruin too much, but I mean people know what the Queen Mary is.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I was like, we'll do kind of a sister version of that pairing, which would the like kind of Americanized version instead of fish and chips is what I called tendies and tatoes. Tendies and
Okay.
taters, fuck. I messed it up.
Okay. Tendies
But yeah.
taters. I like
Yeah.
it.
Well, thank you. And then just a classic strawberry shake. So it sort of ties into the fact that we have done a cruise liner of the classic era, and so we're
Yeah.
doing another one.
Yeah. So to
So,
dive right in,
yes, please.
my sources are queenmary.com, usghostadventures.com, and the BuzzFeed Unsolved Networks video, The Haunted Decks of the Queen Mary.
Yes. Classic.
So I'm going to dive into the history before we talk about all the ghosts. So
Okay.
the story begins at Cunard Line's annual meeting when Chairman Sir Thomas Royden made the first official announcement that they would retire their super ocean liners, the Maritania, Aquitania, and the Berengaria,
Wow.
and they were going to make new super ocean liners to
Ooh.
supersede these.
I don't mean to stop immediately, but he has the title of Sir?
Yes.
How like I've never heard of this guy. How do you when you're not like a celebrity like music or an actor or whatever, like what do you have to do back in the day to like become knighted?
I think you have to be like a military service member,
Oh. Well, then I
I
take
think.
back my I take back my kind of derisive sort of scoffing at this gentleman who because I was like, I mean, we're not just gonna necessarily give like the Carnegie family fucking like a similar sort of thing just because they're rich. It's like you build a boat and so you get to be Sir whatever his name. I can't.
Okay, so it is being awarded for exceptional achievements such as long-term volunteer work,
Okay.
high-level innovation, or major contributions to art, science, or public life.
Okay. Fair enough. So you could just be like a rich person and just like be innovative and
Yeah,
so okay, so yeah, we actually might give Carnegie stuff because of like libraries and music
yeah,
halls and whatnot. Okay. Fair enough, Britain. I apologize.
yeah. So Thus begins the conception of the Queen Mary, which is 2 times the size of the Titanic. So
Oh my
huge.
God. Wow.
Yeah,
Boy, yeah, I was way off. They're not even close to
which
sister ships.
actually was really funny watching the BuzzFeed video, and he's like, "Yeah, it's 2 times the size of the Titanic," and Ryan's just like, "That's it? Are you sure? The Titanic was tiny."
What? I just
Like,
thought of the Titanic. I mean, compared to like ships we have today, I would assume the Titanic's
oh,
small, but
yeah.
for back then, I wouldn't have thought that in such a short amount of time they would have doubled the size of cruise ships. That's insane.
Oh,
Because there again,
yeah.
the Titanic, especially like just watching the movie and seeing pictures, it looks pretty substantial. And I would have never
Yeah.
guessed that the Queen Mary is twice the size. That's insane. Amazing.
She's a big ship. And the construction for the ship began on December 1st of 1930 in Clydebank, Scotland. And of
Scotland,
course, Cunard Line spared no expenses building the Queen Mary.
of
And
course.
originally, they started with the ship name as Job Number 534 because they didn't have a name for the ship yet.
Well, you got to have a placeholder, as long as they don't ship it out that way, where it's like okay, guys, we gotta think of a better name before it
Yeah,
like goes out. Yeah.
yeah. And the first keel plate was laid for the first keel plate being laid for the Queen Mary was at John Brown Shipyard. And the ship was designed to stand in a class of her own.
Oh.
So, taking the level of luxury from the Titanic and kicking it up a notch.
Oh, okay. So not just the size, but like the amenities and the accoutrement,
Yes.
so to speak. The classiness
Yes.
of it is going. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That's why you get that's why
And
you get a title of sir.
unfortunately, this also happened around the time of the Great Depression, so that stalled construction for several years.
Oh, right. Well, I can imagine that like even if you have like if you are in an industry that isn't even affected exactly by the Great Depression, you would have to assume like, well, we may as well hold off because nobody's fucking taking ships anyway. Like this
Yeah.
isn't exactly just like a passenger ship. This is meant to be an elaborate sort of extravagant getaway, and people don't
Yeah.
have money now, so fuck that.
Yeah. It's supposed to be both like a luxurious passenger ship, but also
Right.
along the lines of like you are like taking this elegant ship to go over to the Americas and then come back in like a month.
Right, right. Yeah, well, I mean, so yeah, obviously it is a passenger ship, but it's
Yeah.
not like just to get you across. You're like
Yeah.
the rich bourgeoisie of like, oh, we're taking the
Yeah.
Queen Mary to New York.
Yep.
Rich bastards.
And on December 30th of 1933, Cunard Steamship Company and White Star Line, which I believe they had the Titanic, Britannia, and a few other big names, they merged
Which
into one company.
oh, okay. Because when I was when I was looking this up that morning, I was embarrassed for multiple reasons. One, that they not only weren't sister ships, but that they were owned and constructed by completely different companies. But I
Like
feel a
rival
little
companies.
yeah, not just different, but rival companies. But I feel a little more vindicated knowing that they do eventually
They
come
do become
together and
one.
nice. It's like Sirius satellite radio and XM. A lot of people don't remember they
Yeah,
used to be separate. Yeah,
they,
all
they
you
did.
youngsters out there, yeah, they used to be. Yeah. Which one would say isn't that like a monopoly kind of? Because there's only one. But anyway,
I mean, one would say that.
one yeah, and one would be right. But whatever.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
And then on April 3rd of 1934, the construction for the Queen Mary resumed. And
Hooray!
according to legend, on September 26th of 1934, the board of directors met to decide the name of the ship.
Ah, here we.
And originally they were thinking, oh, we're going to call it the Queen Victoria. This would keep in line with the tradition of the Cunard ships ending with the IA suffix. So, like
Oh,
all of the
gotcha.
ships they were then retiring.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, they went to King George to ask for his blessing of the ship's name, saying, "We have decided to name our new ship after England's greatest queen," which they're thinking Victoria, his grandmother. And he goes,
Oh.
"My wife will be delighted that you are naming a ship after her." Which, like, honestly, that's husband goals right there. Is that
Honest,
he's
yeah.
not
First of
thinking
all,
of the monarch who's had the longest reign over England and had, like, a
right.
lot of really good things happen and is oh, she's like the grandmother of Europe.
Yeah.
He's just like, "My wife would be delighted because you're right, she is the greatest queen
I
because
appreciate
she's amazing."
I appreciate that you pointed that out. Yeah, like he's like, "Oh yes, you mean my wife?" And they're like,
Yeah,
"Uh,
yes.
yes, of course, Your Highness. That's who else would we be referring to? Of course." So, fuck, we better. And then they're like, "We better change the contracting. Those fucking guys are already painting the name on the side of the ship. Like, we gotta
They're like,
change it."
don't put Victoria, put Mary,
Yeah,
please."
if they had them, they'd pull out a cell phone and be like, "We gotta change everything. Like, fucking
Yeah.
get them off the scaffolding. Fuck." That's it.
Although my thought originally, knowing the name, I thought it was after Mary, Queen of Scots, just
Oh,
because the ship was like built in Scotland
that's a good
and
point. Yeah,
that's a huge part of like this English Scottish history.
sure.
But
Yeah,
I guess if this legend with how they named it is actually true, I would be incorrect.
that is a pretty great, and it's one of those things where even if it's not true, it's great like corporate lore. It's that
It
kind of story
is.
that they bend the truth a little bit because they're like, well, this will just sound nice when I'm making presentations. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is a fun story to put on the website. Yeah, it's
Yep.
class.
So then on March 24th, 1937, the Queen Mary departs John Brown Shipyard, steaming down the Clyde River to Gurrock, Scotland, which is where they have like the anchor trials. They make adjustments with like the
Oh,
compasses. And in this, they also left off 20 lifeboats to save weight
okay.
on the ship, which
Okay, fair enough.
makes me nervous just because of like, we all know how that went down with the Titanic.
Yeah. Well, and now that you mention it, I hadn't thought of the fact that the shipyard isn't necessarily where they're going to do all the stress testing.
Mhm.
So you could just imagine that is technically her first like maiden voyage of any kind.
Yeah.
And if you're not absolutely certain that it's like ready to go, if you're part of that like skeleton crew that has to get it down the river to, where it's going to be tested, you're like, boy, I hope this thing fucking holds together. Just kind of white knuckling it down the river just in case like something got fucked up.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And I'm sorry. I did screw up a little bit. It was not King George who they asked, it was King Edward, which I'm going
Oh,
to clear up because on the next day, uh King Edward, his wife Queen Mary, and
okay.
then Princess Elizabeth, the Duke and Duchess of York, which are soon to be King George and Queen Elizabeth,
Oh, okay. Well,
and the
it's
Duke
good
and
you made that
Duchess
correction
of
because
Kent.
you were going to get so many messages of people who were like, "How dare you
Yes.
get the Edward, not
Yes,
George."
because Edward abdicates and then George becomes king.
Oh, why does Edward abdicate? I know that's not exactly the focus
Um,
of doing, but
because he wanted to marry someone that the crown did not approve of.
oh, wait, wait, wasn't he the one that had the wife Mary? Did she die?
I'm gonna look this up.
I was like, well, now that, but like I said, we're a bit off topic here, but I'm like, I gotta know now what he have. That's a lot of power to give up. Like, even if you're just sort of a figurehead, like you're the king, and you that's so sweet. Because if this guy got them to name the ship after his potentially past wife, and then he abdicates his throne to marry someone that he loves, that's so sweet.
Okay, so
Okay.
oh, okay, I see. No, I was correct. It was King George.
Oh.
because then Edward is king for their son, but he's not married, so she's still queen. Sorry, it's a
Oh,
whole
so does George die or something? So Edward becomes king, but he's not married.
yes.
So his mom is still the queen. So she
Yes.
technically, but they're not
So
right. Okay. And then
yeah,
he
so
meets
that's
someone that he
she's
wants
like
to
queen
marry.
mother is what she's considered
Oh, that's pretty
when
cool. Okay.
Edward is then king.
And they want to make
So
a clear distinction that like, yes, we don't do that intermingling anymore, so to speak. I'm the
yes,
queen mother and he's the
it's a very
king.
complicated thing because like I was
Like,
explaining to Gabriel when I've watched episodes of The Crown that whenever someone and I also watched Victoria recently, whenever someone is queen,
mhm.
any person that they marry, if the queen is the highest title, their husband will forever be prince
Oh,
because they cannot have a title that's higher than queen, and king is higher than queen.
right. But I wouldn't have that's kind of weird. I like
So,
I
like
guess
with
I would
Queen
think
Victoria, it was always Prince Albert. He was never king.
I always
He was
wondered why
king
it
of
was
like
like
his own
that.
country, but in England, he
Right.
was always prince.
That's so weird because you just generally associate like prince and or princess with like the offspring of the crown. And so that
Yeah.
would just feel weird to me that like if you marry the queen, you are her prince. And it's like, it's just kind of, and I wouldn't expect to be king, but I guess I just assumed it would be like lord or like duke something, which I know is different stuff, but I don't know. Prince to
Yeah.
me just seems weird, but I mean, I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah, he can't be higher than her. That makes sense.
Yeah. So, sorry, I was correct in saying that
Okay,
it's
good.
Edward the Eighth.
See,
King,
because then,
singular
yeah,
by himself, is
and
not married.
I was making a big deal about like you were going to get comments. Well, now you're going to get comments about like, well, you actually right the first time, and then but now you've corrected everything. We're on the right page, so
Yes.
everybody can just cool it. Everything's fine.
Yes.
We're back on track.
So then on May 27th, 1936, Queen Mary departs from Southampton, England, embarking on her maiden voyage to New York.
Yay! Much like the
And
Titanic.
yes, the ship had 5 dining areas,
Damn.
multiple and lounges, I
Yeah.
believe, 2
Mhm.
cocktail bars and 2 swimming pools, a grand ballroom, a squash court,
Holy
and
shit!
a small hospital,
What?
which
I mean,
I
I
also
suppose
did
that
not
makes
realize
sense.
squash was that old.
Oh, that-
Mostly because I feel like that's like something people would do in like the 80s. They'd be like, I'm playing squash.
Mm.
Like,
And very
I
much
wouldn't think
like
they'd have that in like the 30s.
a retiree Florida thing. Like we just moved down to Palm
Yeah.
Beach, and yes, we've taken up squash. We're very
Yeah.
into squash now. You know.
Well, like, you know how like pickleball is like a younger
Yeah.
sport?
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
for whatever
And they're
reason, I want
similar.
to think of
Yeah.
squash as like that, but
Yeah.
it's
As
like
far
a
as I know, they
younger
use
sport.
similar paddles and stuff. I think.
Yeah.
I would have assumed that it was like shuffleboard. That seems to be like the classic cruise ship.
Shuffleboard. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's if I ever go on another cruise, I don't know why, but I was really like nervous because the one cruise that I've been on, you'll be walking around like the top deck and there'll just be shuffleboard areas with like the little triangles and stuff. And so you can go to like their entertainment thing and you can get the shuffleboard stuff. And I don't know why, but I was strangely like self-conscious about playing shuffleboard just on the deck, but I really wanted to. So I'm like, if I ever go on another cruise, I'm playing shuffleboard, god damn it. I don't know the rules, but I want to do the thing. It's
Yeah.
like American curling sort of, which I'm sure it doesn't
Yeah.
have its roots in America, but yeah.
I want to
Have you
try
ever
it and it's going to be fun.
played like bar shuffleboard where it's like the table version and
Yeah.
you put the salt on it and yeah, it's a lot of
Yep.
fun.
It
I
is
like
fun. Um, so the Queen Mary set new benchmarks in transatlantic travel with
oh,
the rich and famous considering it as the only civilized way to travel.
Of course, yes, of course. Travel like royalty. It's the Queen
Yeah.
Mary, you know.
The
Yes.
ship quickly seized the hearts and imaginations of the public on both sides of the Atlantic.
I can see that, yeah.
And with her maiden voyage, she arrived in New York on June 1st, 1936.
And they're like, thank God it didn't end up like the Titanic, right, guys? Like,
Yep.
hey, we made it. All right. Woo.
The
We did it.
total crossing time took 5 days, 5 hours, and 13 minutes.
Wow. I don't know why, but that's faster than I would have assumed. I guess just you think of the Atlantic as like such a huge distance, but
Yeah.
I mean it's gotta be like some thousands of miles of just fucking open ocean. But still,
Yeah.
I mean, 5 days, that seems pretty quick. Good for them.
This. And her final peacetime voyage was August 30th, 1939.
Oh.
That was departing from Southampton, carrying her largest number of passengers of 2,552.
I didn't like the way you had to specify peacetime, but this is the late 30s, so we all know what's going on and like
Yeah.
shit's about to get real. So fair
Yeah.
enough.
And in the passengers that included JP Morgan, Bob Hope, and millions in gold bullion.
Wow. Why?
Yeah.
That seems kind of weird. Why would you want that to cross the Atlantic? I mean, like England's giving or maybe America's giving England a present or something?
Something. Because then on September 3rd of 1939, England and France declared war on Germany.
There it is.
And
There
the
it is.
Queen Mary then arrives in New York a day later.
Oh.
So,
So like guys, you don't understand what's going on in Europe right now. Like they're because everybody in America is like, why were you so fucking late? And they're like, look, shit's hitting the fan. And we might have to rework this whole ship to fight Nazis.
yeah. So the Queen Mary then departs New York and goes to Sydney, Australia to be fitted as a troop ship.
Oh hell
So
yeah.
that increased their accommodations from 2,140 people to, or like rooms to, oh no, that's the number of people, sorry. 2,140 to 5,500.
Right, because you get rid of the squash courts, you get rid of the pools, and it's like we just need space for men. Like we're
We need
going to
space for
war.
barracks.
Right.
We get rid
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
super luxurious rooms.
Yeah. You get rid of
And
like at least two of the dining areas. So, like we need just space
yeah,
for bodies. Hmm.
this is known as the birth of the gray ghost
That
on
is
March
fucking
21st, 1940.
that is badass.
It is the most badass like warship name, the Gray Ghost.
That is well, especially yeah, something about it like being a cruise liner. And then it's like, oh, what? You need me to go to war? Then I become the Great Ghost. That is sick. That is.
They
Oh
painted
my
the
god.
ship gray,
Hell yeah.
and
The Great
part of
Ghost.
why they called it the Gray Ghost is that this was one of the fastest ships.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, which kind of makes sense because I suppose, especially as a civilian vessel, they're going to be mostly concerned with getting people to their destination, and they
yeah,
don't have like super heavy ordinances and stuff. So like they don't have giant cannons or anything like that. So they're just
yeah. Their whole thing is to transport military personnel and prisoners of war. That's all the ship is supposed to be doing.
right. That's pretty badass. And there's the gray. Oh man, even if you're not like in combat, the Gray Ghost is just
Yeah,
that is a badass name.
it is. And on December 13th, 1940, the Queen Mary did have some hull damage while
Okay.
entering dry dock in the Boston Naval Shipyard,
Oh,
which
okay. So not
dry
like
docks the
glorious.
ship.
Okay, not a glorious battle. Somebody
No.
reversed a little bit too fast.
Yeah. So then the Queen Mary would then travel from Boston to Sydney for 40 days and 40 nights, marking it the first time that the Queen Mary would carry American troops.
Oh, okay. Yeah. US is entering the war. Also,
Yeah.
kind of strangely, like, biblically symbolic of 40 days and 40 nights, except instead of the
Yeah.
desert, it's the ocean. And they go into
Yeah.
Australia. Yeah. All right. Get
They're
out of
going
there.
to the desert of Australia.
Oh, right. Yeah. Good one. Yeah. There you go. And across a vast ocean of water that you can't drink. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like a desert. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on October 2nd of 1942, the Queen Mary collides with the British light cruiser Curacao.
Oh, no. Again,
So,
not combat like damage, just like oops, we hit
so
a fellowship.
the Curacao was in front of the Queen Mary and doing like a zigzag in front of it.
Okay.
And
Oh, I'm sorry,
with
you
how
said
fast the
Kurosawa. Is that a
Curacao,
Japanese ship?
no, it is a British ship.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
And the ship was
Why were they
going fast, so
yeah, why were
they
they
caught
zigzagging?
up to them
Oh.
to avoid torpedoes.
Oh, okay. Oh, so they were in combat then. Okay. Cool. Shit. But
They
you
were
can't catch the gray
transporting,
ghost.
but not like actively fighting somebody.
Right, but they're evading. They're
Yeah,
serpentining. Yeah. Evasive
yeah.
maneuvers.
So they had to use 70 tons of cement to temporarily patch the bow in Scotland
Wow.
before the ship was then dry docked for a bow replacement.
Damn. It's amazing too that we have that kind of engineering prowess where it's like just as a kid, the first time you see like a metal, even just a metal fishing boat, you think
Yeah,
of metal as like heavy, and it's like how can it float? And it's like, you know, just buoyancy. It's just fucking fluid
so it
dynamics. We
works.
know, yeah, we know how it works. So the idea that you have a ship that is so large, but we have such a grasp of buoyancy that you can put cement on. How much did you say? Like, how many tons of cement?
70 tons,
70
70 tons.
Jeez, 70 tons of cement. And it not only like floats, but it patches the hull. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
So then we have D Day on June 6, 1944.
Oh yeah.
So then the funnels are then repainted on August 29th, 1945, and they are repainted in the ship liner colors,
Oh. The
marking that she
are the
is
funnels
returning to her passenger days.
Oh yeah. Are the funnels the like kind of smokestack things?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay. Just want to make sure. I'm like, but yeah, so they're like the war is over. We're going back to
yeah.
doing fun stuff.
And
Cruise ship.
then from February 15th to May 3rd, 1947, they work the they do a lot of work to restore the Queen Mary to a passenger ship.
Right.
And
Right. You can imagine
that
that those
means that
troops weren't exactly kind
yeah,
to it.
they are so they're working to just restore it to a passenger ship. And then from May 3rd to July 24th of that
Oh.
same year,
Mhm.
they are reinstalling all of the furnishings after recovering them from different ports all around the world.
Oh, right, because it's yeah, because they're just changing out parts as they go, so they've just got shit all over
Yeah.
the world. They're like, "Well, we need more men in here. Let's get this chandelier out."
Well, and I imagine a lot of the stuff that like it gave them an opportunity to like update stuff that needed like renovations and stuff like that too.
Sure, sure. Yeah, that's a lot of time to think about, like, "Man, when we get the Queen Mary back, we're gonna update everything. It's gonna be amazing."
Yeah.
It's good,
And
yeah.
then March 9th of 1962, they had waves flooding part of the main deck A and B
Oh
on
god.
voyage number 382 East.
I was gonna say 62. I didn't realize it was in service for that long. Wow.
Yeah.
God damn.
And the Queen's captains open orders telling them of the decision to sell the Queen Mary.
Oh.
So the ship's captain is like, hey, we're going to be selling the Queen Mary and her sister ship, the Queen Elizabeth,
Oh, there you go, yeah.
on May 8th, 1967. And the Queen Mary has her final voyage to Long Beach, California on October 1st, 1967, which is voyage number 516.
Damn. It's quite a service record.
Yep. So then
Good.
she arrives in Long Beach, which then becomes her final destination and home.
Right.
And she's removed from the British registry and turned over to the city of Long Beach and
Which
becomes fully dependent on shoreside utilities.
which is weird that like it was such a like all of its pedigree and everything is like British royalty, but now it's forever staying in Long Beach, California.
Yeah.
Just seems fairly odd, but yeah, it's just like, well, so I guess do you happen to know like in your research if like the city bought it or if it was like an independent like rich person? They're like, we're gonna.
So she transfers her ownership quite a few times.
Oh, no
So it
kidding. Okay.
starts with the city of Long Beach, and then
Oh,
Jacques Cousteau added his Living Sea portion of Museum of the Sea on to the Queen Mary,
J-
and they opened with
J-
hotel rooms.
Jacques Cousteau was a real guy. I thought that was like a
Yes,
fictional. I thought he got like marooned
I
on an
did the
island or something.
same thing.
No shit. Okay, I feel better that I'm
So
like I
then,
thought. Yeah, like Robinson Crusoe. I thought he was a
yeah.
guy like that. Okay.
So then the ship has their own tour company that then takes over the museum in October of 1976.
Okay.
And it is during this time that Rather Port Properties signed a 66-year lease to manage the Queen Mary.
What an
And then,
odd number. Six.
yes,
That is 66. What? I'm sorry. What year was that in that they signed the lease?
1976.
Yeah, that's still because I was thinking maybe it just gets them to a round number in the future, but that just
No, it does not.
that's very strange. Okay, whatever.
That
66,
brings them
sure.
to like 19, or no, that brings them to
To 20.
2042.
Right, right. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Okay.
Yeah.
66 years, sure.
So then this lease is then bought by Walt Disney for
That's
$152 million on March 29th, 1988.
that's badass. If I was Walt
And
Disney, I
then,
would totally buy that.
yeah, Disney ends the lease towards the end of 1992. And the Port of Long Beach then becomes the operator of the property and looks for like a new operator. So they close the hotel down. And they then sign a new lease, reopen the hotel with 125 rooms on March 5th, 1993. They opened the remaining rooms April 30th, 1993.
I was gonna say I thought that did seem a little small, like the number that was like 193 or something. It's like that's not all of them. That can't possibly be all the rooms.
No, they opened the remaining like 300 something
Wow.
in
Okay.
April.
Hell yeah.
And unfortunately, on May 7th, 2020,
No.
in response to the pandemic, they shut down for
Yeah.
3 years.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So they reopened April 1st of 2023 for just tours, and then a month later in May opened the hotel.
So like we haven't been doing anything with it for 3 years. It's a little dingy. So give us a month. Clean her back up. I
Yep.
was a little worried that you were gonna say that like they just shut everything down through the like the pandemic essentially killed it. Like the Queen Mary's destroyed or something because of lack of
Thankfully, no.
maintenance. Yay, hooray! Good
So
on you,
this
Queen.
leads us to my favorite part, all of our hauntings.
Yes. I was gonna say there was a lot of backstory to get to all of the
Yes.
spirits and the ghouly ghosts.
So I do want to note that they have a section on their website where you can upload and share your paranormal experiences with them.
That's amazing. I
Yeah.
love it's kind of like the Denver airport thing where it's like may as well lean into it, you know?
Yeah. I love that they have that on the website and that someone's job is to go through all of that. It's amazing. So, while being an ocean liner, the Queen Mary carried approximately 2.2 million passengers, in which 47 deaths were reported aboard the ship.
In its entire lifetime?
Yes,
Okay, that
surprisingly.
I was gonna
Those
say
are
that is.
reported deaths.
Oh, that's to be fair, I feel like it would be hard to miss deaths. Like I do
Yeah,
understand that it is like these are the ones that we have recorded, but I do feel like it would be hard to miss any cuz like presumably it's while it's out on the ocean and like there's just a body stuck in a wall somewhere that like nobody noticed. And I'm like I feel like it's probably a
yeah,
pretty accurate count of like total deaths.
yeah. So it is believed that there is up to 150 ghosts haunting the ship, and
Wow.
several spirits have been identified.
I'm sorry. We have to go back just one more time, real quick. You said 150,
Yes,
even though the number of deaths on the ship is less than 50.
yes.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, let's remember people do disappear off cruise ships all the time.
That's true. That's true. Oh, okay. Honestly, actually, now I'm on board. I would love the idea that people who pass away on like other modern cruise ships just end up on the Queen Mary. They're like, we just taken everybody. It's okay. You're like, well, I kind of wanted to be stuck on the Alaskan cruise line. Nah, now you're in Long Beach
No,
forever. Sorry, mate.
that sounds
Also, we
like a
have a bunch.
special kind of hell for like cruise people.
Yeah, and they're like, also we have a bunch of Australians for kind of no reason. We did a lot of repairs there. Now they're all stuck here too.
So I have a list of deaths that I could
Oh,
actually
okay.
like find something on.
Sure.
So during its construction on June 5th of 1934, a
Oh, wow.
construction worker named Malcolm Atkin fell from the scaffolding surrounding the ship and died.
That's
So
got to
that
be
is
a
like her
long
first
fall.
brush of death is before she's even a fully constructed ship.
Right. Oh God. You could see this as like a montage in like a YouTube video where it's just a counter starts and it's like number one, dude just falls off scaffolding. The Queen Mary
Yeah.
has claimed her first.
And then on June 8th of 1936, a crew member, Arthur John Francis Golding, died after fracturing his skull during the ocean liner's return to the UK following her maiden voyage.
Oh Jesus. That's that seems kind of lame, bro. Like that's not the ship's fault. I mean,
No,
he was probably getting drunk and playing too much goddamn shuffleboard or
probably.
mhm.
And
He's
then
sloshing around in the pool.
in 1936, Sir Edgar Britton, the first captain of the Queen Mary,
No.
died from a stroke in his quarters.
Oh, that's a bad omen. Okay, that's the first one. No, I mean the first one that falls from the scaffolding, I could see them being like tied to the ship forever. The
Yeah,
guy with the skull fracture, it's like fuck you, dude. You're just like partying, whatever. The
you
ship's
fall
captain.
down.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
dumb piece of shit. I like the idea that the very it's the first ship's captain.
Yes.
Okay, so he served for a number of years and he was I could totally see him being tied to the ship like for the rest of
Yeah.
existence. Poor guy.
And then we have the accident with the Curacao in 1942, which we will talk more about. During World War II, a cook died in a pretty horrific fashion. He was shoved into an oven by Australian soldiers
Oh,
and burned
what?
to death because they didn't like the food that he cooked.
I was so unprepared for that. What year was this?
I don't have a specific year, but it was
Or
during World War II.
so okay, that's kind of what I was leading. I assumed it was gonna be like Nazis, or like he hid in the oven or something and got stuck or just fucking asshole Australians cooked him in his own oven. That
Yeah, it
is,
is heard that you can hear his screams in
oh,
that
I
area.
bet. Like, even as a skeptic, I would assume, like, my imagination, if nothing else, just knowing that story, like, if I was sitting in that kitchen by myself, that's all
Yeah.
my brain could focus on, and it would drive me insane.
Yep.
Christ, I mean, that's like the story of Hansel and Gretel with the witch. And they just didn't like his food.
Yeah.
God.
I'm sure there had to be stuff leading up to that happening, and it didn't just like wasn't
I
one just one bad meal.
right. I would hope so. That, but even like it doesn't justify it. But still, like,
Yeah.
wow. That, yeah. I was so unprepared for that to be the explanation. That poor son of a bitch.
And then in 1949, senior second officer William Stark accidentally drank laundry detergent, which had been stored in a gin bottle. So he
Oh.
accidentally poisoned himself.
Oh, okay. I feel bad for laughing now. I was just picturing someone just picking up a bottle of Tide and just going like, "Well, this is how I go." But he
No,
was,
he
oh,
went to go get a bottle of gin and didn't know that it was the wrong one.
that reminds me of a story I heard of a farmer in somewhere in like the grain belt of the US. He got into the habit of, like, he would have fresh bottles of apparently really like caustic fertilizer, and then he
Oh,
had used bottles that he would fill with other things, and apparently one of those things he would fill these bottles with was like moonshine or something. And one day,
oh no.
yeah, and so one day he
He
grabbed
thought
the
he was
wrong
getting
bottle.
moonshine.
Yep. And of course, initially,
Oh,
like, he would feel that burn and just assume it's moonshine, and then his insides start to like liquefy or something. It's a
oh God.
horrifying, yeah, it's not a, and I was like, did he, I don't think he lived, but like,
I would
oh,
assume not.
no, probably not. Yeah, that was, I don't even remember where I heard that, but I'm gonna have to look that up at some point because it
Yeah.
was, ugh, poor bastards. Both of them.
Ooh,
Not good.
no. And then in 1966, a crew member was crushed by a watertight door during a
No.
routine drill.
Oh, oh, like in half, like in his abdomen or something, like in his back.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more.
Oh, okay. Oh God. Okay.
And then during the ship's final voyage to Long Beach,
She had to claim one more. Like, she's like, "This is me last one, and I'm gonna get me
yeah,
one more before it's." They're like, "Why do you have such a weird accent?" She's like, "I'm originally from Scotland, you bastard. This is what I
uh,
fucking do."
crew member Leonard Horsbrough developed heat stroke and died from a cerebral hemorrhage as they were passing the coast of Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, well, okay. I'm. That's another one where, like, I'm not gonna blame that on the Queen Mary. Like, bro, go
Yeah,
inside and get a fucking glass of water. Yeah, like heat stroke. You're just on the deck too long,
yeah.
dude.
So the ship has a big reputation for being haunted
Hmm. There again, we've already
with,
talked about the Ghoul Boys.
yeah, with a lot of disembodied voices, strange noises, and apparitions that have all been documented on the ship.
Nice.
Witnesses have seen quite a few spirits.
Ah,
Sorry, I'm going to pause here and run to the bathroom real quick.
good call. That, yeah, do it. I'm gonna make another little drink. Well, Craig, we find ourselves alone together once more, don't we? You know, I had a long day at work moving around packages and mail, parcels and parsley. Part and parcel, that's what we say. I don't know why I said parsley. And what have you done today, Craig? What have you done today, Craig? Absolutely fucking nothing, isn't it? Yes, that's what I thought. Not quite sure why I talked to you in this particular voice, Craig, but it feels right, doesn't it? Although I do feel like, no, I was gonna give you the position of being 007, but fuck you, I'm 007. I did that kind of American thing where we assume that the British voiced person is the villain, but that's just a trope, you know. That's just it's a disgusting stereotype, really. When we should be commending the British agents for their tireless work and their incredible bravery, as has been displayed by so many 007 movies. So, if anything, you're 006, and you go rogue, and I have to kill you up on a satellite, a big satellite dish. I think it's in Brazil. It was decommissioned either way. I listened to a YouTube about that. Is that what the kids say these days? I listened to a YouTube. They might say I watched a YouTube, but why am I talking to you about it, Craig? Fuck you. You're older than dirt. Little shit. You have always been, haven't you, Craig? You have always been and you will always be. But what you will not always be is a 00 agent. Because, like I said, you're 006 and you die at the end. You've never watched GoldenEye. You've never even played the game. You are 006. You betray me. And I cannot have that. So for king and country, for England, I must dispatch you. And and in fact, I think that's even what he says. He says, for England, James. And then I think he says, no, for me. And then he like cuts the line and he falls to his death. It's a great fucking scene. Oh my God. Pierce Brosnan, you know. Greg, you should watch more movies. But that's a long rambling way to say that you are the villain. Of all of these little conversations that we have, you are always the antagonist and I shall always be the hero. It's what the people want, Craig. It's what the people want, it's what they expect, and it's what we shall give them. Because at the end of the day, you know, we have to have a good guy and a bad guy, and I will be the good guy. Just nothing. You never have anything to contribute. I get that you're sitting there in your little booth recording things, but like, I mean, what do you strive for, Craig? What do you desire? What do you live for? I suppose you're not even necessarily living. You're just kind of existing as a program. You know, this is actually kind of an interesting thing because technically, this would be an interesting place to have a discussion about, like, if we live in the Matrix, like if humanity as a whole lives in some sort of simulation, you would be kind of an analogy for that, a kind of, because you are representing. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Good.
Craig and I were having quite the conversation.
Ah.
He's an evil piece of shit and he deserves to die. And
Oh,
he knows.
no.
Yeah.
Poor Craig.
I know. He's got it rough. You know,
He
he's
has such
just
a rough life being
he does.
a program.
Well, and I never give him enough credit for the fact that he literally is just a head. Like, if you look at his little pic there, he doesn't even have a body. He has the microphone, his head, his eyes, and that's it. He doesn't even, like, I mean, I suppose
He's like from the Wizard of Oz. He's just a head.
Oh, I've got to incorporate that into my next little Craig rant.
Yeah.
Log that away, Craig. Good boy.
So,
where were we?
Some of the popular ghosts have been the man crushed by the door, the ghost of a woman who dances in the first class lounge.
She's just drunk as shit. She's like, I'm dancing, fuck you. She dances on tables for tips.
One of the rooms is so haunted that it was closed to the public for 30 years.
Yeah,
which you can actually stay in now.
Yes. I was going to say, if this ever takes off and we go to the Queen Mary, that is the room we're staying in. You know that, right? Like, we have to
Specifically
stay.
requested it.
Yes. Oh my God.
They stayed in it for BuzzFeed Unsolved.
I thought that was the room.
They had not made it a room yet. So it was like empty.
Yeah, I remember that too. They were talking about how, well, because they were like sleeping in sleeping bags, and it was.
Yeah.
I can imagine that would add to the sort of creepiness factor. If you don't even have a bed, you have to just bring your own bedroll and stuff. Sure. Ugh.
One of the stories is that in 1989, staff in the Martinia room, which is also called the Garden Lounge,
Oh,
they
inter
entered the room for cleaning and
Mm,
saw a guest sitting on a chair in the middle of the room.
ew.
And they were about to call security because they're like, she's not supposed to be in here.
Right.
And she then suddenly vanished and scared the
Mm,
staff.
that would scare yeah, that would scare me.
And then
Ooh.
in 2001, an employee came into work early around 5:30 a.m. and entered the staff offices, which was formerly the beauty salon, and
Oh.
they felt someone or something brush against them and then saw a pale figure walk through the office before completely disappearing.
Ooh. Well, I mean, that's what you get for showing up to work early. To quit being an overachiever, like if you if you want to show everybody else up, you get haunted. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
That's the American way.
The staff has a ghost that they call Grumpy
Oh.
because he is known to growl in people's ears and his presence is typically felt in groups.
I take back my kind of like
Oh,
cutesy whimsy. Yeah, yeah, I take that because I'm like, I was when you said grumpy, I initially thought like grumpy cat. And then even as you said
oh
like they
yeah.
growl, yeah, I'm like, but now I'm thinking like an old man who just waits for people to just like,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
It'd be
no,
creepy.
it'd be so creepy. Yeah, that switched real quick on me.
Yeah.
And he's got a thing for groups also.
And another entity wears overalls and has been seen near the propellers in the area they call Shaft Alley.
No comment. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a worker. He's an old school guy. He's
Yeah.
got his overalls. Do they have any idea what that particular entity's identity might be? Like, did anybody
No.
classically wear of? No, okay,
No.
just a guy in overalls.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about room B340
Is that
or
the room?
340. That is the
Okay.
most haunted room.
Oof.
And no one is really sure where the legend starts or what story is true.
Sure.
But it is confirmed that passenger Walter J. Adamson died in that room in 1948.
Well, his name was Adamson. That's just a weird name. Like you either go with Adams or not Adamson. I guess I didn't really have a secondary one, but
Yeah.
that's a weird name.
And there's no record for his cause of death.
Oh,
So
okay,
they're not sure what killed him.
that's
But
weird.
after his death, ghost sightings started being reported in that room.
Okay, got it. Which makes sense.
And
That's where he died.
mhm, prior to the ship docking in Long Beach, a female passenger in that room woke to a shadow figure standing at the end of her bed,
Ugh.
and the entity had pulled the covers off of her and then vanished into thin air when she woke up. Not
Just
weird at
just an
all.
asshole ghost. Like he's like, I'm not doing anything else. I'm just making you cold. Ha ha. And then he just poofs off into existence.
Yep.
Enjoy
And
your stay. Poof.
these sightings have only increased since the ship has become a hotel.
Oh, I can
Guests have
imagine.
reported waking up to hearing the sink and tub faucets running, lights turning on and off, the bathroom and closet doors opening and closing, and an unseen entity knocking on the door.
Which it gives it assuming that it has a logical explanation, what comes to mind is just like the staff who are trying to give these people an experience are just like sneaking around the room and like fucking with doors and turning faucets and
Yeah,
stuff off. They're like, you fuckers.
that would actually be pretty funny.
I was gonna say, if I made this into like a sitcom, that's what they would be doing.
Yep. The cleaning staff has seen the sheets being pulled off the bed right after they make it.
Oh, that's a dick move.
Yeah.
That's I feel like that's classic ghost stuff of just like I'm not gonna get in like I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna really try to scare you. I'm just gonna make your day worse. So they're
Yeah.
like fucking Adamson, like stop fucking with our sheets. He's like, no, I won't. I'm stuck here forever. This is what I do.
So, one of the urban legends is that in the 1960s, a man murdered two women and was locked in what is now room B340 until the Queen Mary got to New York. So, like, they locked him in the room.
Oh,
And
that's
when
what I was gonna ask.
police,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, and when police entered the man's room, he had been violently murdered, even though there was no one else in the room with him.
Okay, that's pretty fucking creepy.
It is. There is another version that a man murdered his two daughters in the room,
Oh.
or that a wife murdered her husband in the room.
Oh, okay. I feel like that's more righteous. It's like, I am so sick of your shit.
So sick of your fucking bullshit.
Yeah, this is it. This is the end for you.
So, due to its reputation, management closed the room for about 30 years. And it was only in 2018 that the room had been reopened after being renovated. And
Wow.
funny enough, it was open Friday, April 13th.
Yes. I mean, you gotta think that they planned it like that. Even if that wasn't the original idea, like
Mhm.
it happened to be like they just had a schedule and they're like, it's gonna reopen on Thursday the 12th. And then someone's like,
Yeah,
wait, say Thursday the 12th? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, how about we push it out a day? They're like, why? I'm like, come on, Friday the 13th. Come on. And they're
yeah,
like, yeah, good call. Hell yeah.
good point.
Hmm. And they're like,
So,
well, we're doing Thursday because that's how our scheduling calendar works. And they're like, I know it's gonna fuck some things up, but we have to do it on Friday. They're like, you got a point.
um, they reopened the room for reservations on September 13th after closing it down for COVID in 2024,
Oh,
which I'm
right.
going to check if that was also a Friday.
I was gonna say we because there again, you have to assume that they knew what they were doing. Oh, that has to be a
Was
Friday.
a
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah. Oh, they knew. They definitely knew. And if
Mhm.
I'm willing to accept that the first one might have been a coincidence. You know the second one wasn't. Like when they
Absolutely not.
no, especially if like it's the same people like doing scheduling stuff. They look at when it first reopened and then after COVID they're like, "Well, we have to do this," right? And they're like, "Oh, yeah."
Especially because the room leans into the legend and has tarot cards, a crystal ball, and a
Yeah.
Ouija board in part of their amenities.
Yes.
And in the
Excellent.
adjoining bathroom, there are instructions for summoning Bloody Mary
Yes. Excellent.
and accounts from former guests and investigators were also written on the room's walls, adding to the creepy atmosphere.
Sure. That this is again another thing where like even as someone who's never had any paranormal experiences, I love just the concept of kind of going back to the Denver airport again, just the idea that they're leaning into it. And they're like, if this is known as a haunted place, we may as well just capitalize on it, put a Ouija board in. I love the names of all the people. That is a particularly like creepy touch. I like because anybody can just put a Ouija board in there, and like the Bloody Mary instructions, they're pretty basic. But I like that they
Yeah.
keep all the names of the people. That's pretty good.
So this brings us to our next big ghost, John Petter and Door 13.
Ooh, that's awesome. Door
So
13.
on July 10th of 1966, during a routine safety drill, 18-year-old John
Oh,
Petter was
okay.
crushed by door number 13, a
Oh,
watertight door on the
mhm.
D deck.
Oh God. And
And
like even not knowing anything about ships, just the phrase watertight makes you like
mhm,
it's oh God, yeah, because you know that it is just that door doesn't fuck around. It is going to sever some shit.
that door will crush you
Right.
entirely.
Yep. Like that. Yeah. That is like a safety bulkhead door. That door has to
Yeah.
close. And if you're in its way, it doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. So he had only been a crew member for a few months before he died. And He had been tending to the bilge pump when the drill occurred around 3:55 a.m.
Jesus.
and unfortunately, he did not make it through the door in time. So he's partly through the door.
Yeah. Oh God.
And another crew member found him, and the watertight door was quickly released. But the only visible sign of injury was blood running down his nose.
What? Oh, okay, maybe I have a different idea of what this door is then, because I assumed it would have completely severed like his body in two.
That's what
I mean,
I would have thought.
yeah, or I mean, maybe the skin is just more elastic than I would have given it credit. Like I could just be thinking of like movie stuff, but yeah, I would have assumed that it was like Final Destination shit where it's like you are cut in half.
Yeah. So it looks like a lot of the newer doors slide.
Okay.
So it could be that when they found him, only part of his body was through and that part didn't look like he had been crushed.
I see. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make sense. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It like closed so tightly that it's, ugh.
Yeah.
The part of him that they found looked mostly intact.
Yeah. But
God.
he did more than likely die at the scene or shortly after the ship's hospital, which if you've ever seen any medical show where someone gets like crushed in half
Yep.
by something,
Right, right. They're like
the minute
the thing
they
that has, yeah, the thing that is keeping them, it's like keeping all of their blood in their torso, and the minute that they pull
Mhm.
it away, you're just gonna bleed out.
Yeah.
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 Oh God, what a. Oh, so yeah, he could have. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That he could have been alive when they found him, and maybe
Mhm.
even conscious. Oh my God, that adds a
Yeah.
whole layer to it that I wasn't prepared for. Oh.
And it is widely believed that his spirit remains decades after his death.
Hmm.
A few years after he died, a night watchman reported walking towards the former site of door 13, and his German shepherd that was on patrol with him became frightened,
Oh.
seeing something that he could not.
Right.
And he then heard clanging metal moving towards him.
No, shut
And
up.
it was enough for him and his dog to be like, absolutely not, getting the fuck out of here.
Yup, yup. Oh my God. That is, oh,
Yeah,
it's always at night and you're always alone. And yeah,
yeah,
it's always escalated when you have a pet that like can see things that you
yeah.
can't. And oh, like, and you,
And
as a human, you write it
it's,
off, but then when you hear the clanging, you're like, oh, nope, I get the fuck out.
mhm,
Yep, I'm done. Fuck that.
it's, yeah. And over the years, witnesses have reported seeing a shadow figure near door 13 and even claimed to have been chased by this figure. There are also reports of a metallic sound, which could be the phantom noise of the door slamming shut.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because
Interesting.
it looks like, I think the ones I have now slide shut, but then it would have like hinged shut.
Oh, okay.
But you have to like step over into it.
Yeah, it's that like kind of oval sort of door.
Yeah.
Okay. Ugh.
And one woman saw a man near door 13 who she did later identify as John Petter looking at old photographs of like the crew.
That's creepy. That is the kind
Yeah.
of stuff that is the most compelling to me when it's like this person you could have never known that you've never seen before, and they're like, "Well, how about this guy from 100 years ago?" And she's like, "Oh my God, that's him."
Yep.
It's like, yeah, he's a ghost.
And we have our classic lady in white, because there's always a lady in white
Right.
or a lady in black.
She gets
And
around. Yeah.
She does. She's everywhere all at the same time.
I was gonna say I like to think it's literally the same entity, and she's like, I like to see different places and haunt
And
different.
she travels. It's what
Yeah,
she does in her spare time.
yeah. When she's on vacation, she goes to a cruise ship that's docked forever.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how she unwinds.
she gets around.
Exactly.
So the salon was once a first class lounge and has
Ooh,
been home to the Lady in White for years. Her
wow.
identity remains a mystery, but she's been seen near the piano dancing to music no one can hear. And she is the ship's most popular and often seen ghost since it has been docked in Long Beach.
Well, right, because she's always inviting people to do like tequila shots and shit. Like, it's
Yeah,
not that
she
there's
seems
music.
very fun and friendly.
Right, exactly. It's I'm willing to go along with the idea that it's not even a ghost. It's just a random white lady who's on like, like her spring break every year, and they just one of them always happens to be dancing alone in the piano room, and then people happen upon her. She's like, "Oh my god, you guys, let's do shots."
Yeah,
And then they're like, "Oh, that's got to be a ghost. We got to get the fuck out of here." And
yeah,
it's just unfortunately always some poor girl who's just had too much tequila.
yeah. And on October 2nd of 1942, the Queen Mary was carrying about 15,000 US troops across the Atlantic and was accompanied by the HMS Curacao. And to
Okay.
prevent from being torpedoed, the
This
Curacao was making a zigzag pattern in the water,
Yeah, this is the one you were talking about before. Okay.
but the Queen Mary was going, I believe it was like 28.2 knots.
Right. They were
So
trying to make
she's hauling
Yep, yeah.
and eventually catches up to the HMS Curacao. And disaster struck when the Queen Mary then swings towards the side a little bit and hits the Curacao
Disaster struck when the two ships struck each other
when they
in a,
collided.
in the dumbest way possible.
And Ernest Watson, a crew member on the Curacao, was the first to realize what was happening, but it happened so quickly that the crew could not react
Right, right.
as they were sailing at max speed, and the weight of the Queen Mary is 81,000 tons against
Damn.
the Curacao, which was 4,290
No,
tons.
what? Oh my god, that is
It's
a
a
huge
small ship in
wow.
comparison.
I assumed they were similar at least. I mean, I assumed the Curacao was like a big battleship thing.
No,
Jesus Christ, that's very different. Okay, what happened to the
the
Curacao?
the impact caused the Curacao to be cut in half
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right.
and quickly sank with a lot of the crew still trapped inside.
Oh no. Okay.
Any
Oh God.
survivors on the ship's bow waited for the Queen Mary to rescue them, but instead watched as the ship sailed
No,
away,
no. What? What?
which is because Captain Cyril Illingworth, who is the captain of the ship, had
Or
military orders to
right.
not stop the Queen Mary for any reason.
Uh,
And instead, they called on two other British ships to rescue the survivors,
okay.
which took nearly 2 hours for them to reach the wreckage.
Okay, so I was gonna say, I one has to assume that we got these testimonies from survivors. That
Yes.
okay, while that is a horrible scenario, I at least appreciate that they're like, look, we have orders, but we do know that there are these ships. And when you started saying it took two, I thought you were gonna say days. 2 hours is okay. Like it would feel like forever, but the ship comes, they pick you up, and you would definitely be pissed. Like I can just
So,
imagine like drifting around the ocean and the ship that you expect to come and help you just disappears on the horizon. You're like, you
Yep.
motherfuckers. Oh my
Um,
god.
Unfortunately, by the time the two British destroyers reached the
No.
wreckage,
Huh?
most of the crew had died from hypothermia in the water.
Oh
Most of the
no.
remaining crew.
Oh, I
And
spelled
it was
weird.
also said that some of the crew, as the Queen Mary went by, were swept up into the current and into the
No.
propellers. So, of the 420 crew members
No.
that were on the ship,
Is it the
101 had died or survived.
it's the number of
So
Dalmatians.
319 died.
Oh my god. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable. That
It's
is
bad.
so my I have a friend from grade school who my buddy Andy, shout out to Andy. I don't think he's listening. But either way, he was always really big into like naval ships and stuff and he has definitely told me about this, but he did not go into detail about like the survivors. And I'd heard that, this was like a miscommunication. Things go wrong and like you said, by the time someone realized what was happening, it was already happening.
Yeah,
But oh my god, the idea that this is just a pure accident and more than like what is it? Like basically three-quarters of the ship's crew just die. Oh my
dies. Yeah.
god. And I always
And
think I always assume that it's like you're in the Caribbean, like it's warm waters, but it's no, it's the ocean and you're dying of hypothermia. Oh my god.
yeah,
What a way to go.
because
Ugh.
they were going from I think they were going from Scotland down to Australia.
Ugh. Is there a date on that again? When did that happen?
October 2nd,
Oh,
1942.
yeah, okay, it'll be cold. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And this disaster was kept a secret until after the war ended. And it
Sure.
took 4 years to investigate the case.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's not we all want transparency. I can totally understand the government being like, "Look, let's just get through the war and then we'll talk about this." Like
Yeah.
we don't need to. Oh,
And
Churchill's just sitting there like, "Look, just don't tell anybody. We'll talk about it later. This is stupid, but
yeah.
yeah, let's beat the Nazis first."
And the blame was pointed towards the captain of both boats. And at the end of it all, most of the blame would go towards the captain of the Curacao, since it was
Really?
their job to maneuver around the Queen
Oh,
Mary as the smaller ship.
right.
They can
Yeah.
move a little bit more swiftly
Right. And
around the ship
and
with like turning and stuff because they're
right.
smaller.
And presumably they know that the Queen Mary has oh, I apologize. The Gray Ghost. That they have
You're
orders
right.
not to stop. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, get the fuck out of our way. We're making a beeline. Quit doing this weird serpentine stuff. Yeah, okay, I can see how it's like their responsibility. Like
Yeah.
you should have known. Right. Okay.
And at the front of the ship where the collision happened, visitors have reported hearing the sounds of metal crushing and screaming.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
also reported hearing the sound of rushing water and banging against the side of the ship.
I mean, to be fair, that could just be choppy weather in Long Beach.
It very
I
much
mean,
could be.
it could be. You never know. But still a great like atmosphere. Like for a
Yes.
creepy like boat. Yeah, that's pretty good. Very
So this
marketable.
brings us to the swimming pool.
The swimming pool?
Yes.
That's oh my god. I wasn't thinking about the fact that like just people would die in the ship. Okay, the swimming pool?
There are allegedly two deaths of women who drowned in the first class swimming pool. And there were reports of a little boy who went overboard near the swimming pool area.
I was gonna say I was only laughing because I assumed it was going to be kids, and then you said like two first class ladies, and I'm like, ah, fuck it. But then he went overboard, like by the oh
Yep.
that That really
And
quickly turned my spirit around.
the first class swimming pool is like a hot spot for paranormal phenomena.
Oh, okay.
People have heard splashing coming from the pool area
Let me
and
grab my
have
headphones.
seen wet footprints leading away from the pool. The pool has no water in it.
Right, right, right. It's just old
It's
and
been
gross.
drained.
Hmm.
Um, People do see a woman in 1930s swimwear and a young girl holding a teddy bear that has both have been seen in the pool.
Oh.
And the ghost of the young girl, her name is Jackie, and she's been around the pool for years. But
At this point,
there
she's just
are
smoking cigarettes and stuff because she's like, I've been
yeah,
here for a long time. I'm forever 12.
there are no official records indicating that drownings ever occurred in either of the
Oh,
pools.
okay.
So that
Interesting.
is why I go back to reported deaths, and that there are some deaths that I think were not reported in, because it's
Yeah, I see
better
what
to
you mean.
not scare the people.
Well, and that makes more right, right. That one I hadn't thought about necessarily the reputation of the liner in the sense that like you wouldn't want to be reporting like a child that fell overboard or someone that maybe
Yeah,
drowned inside your pool. Fair enough. Yeah, like
yeah.
okay. Yeah,
You're
fair.
drowning in a pool on the ocean. It's like kind of sucks.
Well, to be and you're in first class and
Yeah,
you can imagine that everybody else is like, well, yeah, go fuck yourself. Like if you drown in a pool that's on a boat that's on the ocean, you kind of deserve it. I feels like what the
yeah,
rest of the people would be thinking. Like you're on water, you drown in water that is on a dry place over water. What are you doing?
yeah. Um, One of the women has been seen in 1960s swimwear.
Nice.
So the two women have drowned at separate times. Uh,
And then they're stuck there forever together in different
and
swimwear.
Jackie's presence has been backed up by psychics who have investigated the pool. Multiple witnesses have heard her talking and laughing. She's like, the laughing is what gets me every time because, like, it creeps me out.
Well, but she's just laughing at like the current the style that people wear for swimwear, and she's like, "Oh, you're showing way too much skin." Or was she the '60s woman?
She's the child.
Oh, oh, well, okay. She just thinks that
Yeah.
we're being ridiculous in general.
Yeah. She is the child with the teddy bear. And
Yeah, okay, that's always
it
creepy.
has it has been theorized by psychics and ghost hunters that there are vortexes aboard the Queen Mary, and
Oh,
that creates a portal for supernatural phenomena. And
okay,
that one of the vortexes is located in the boiler room, where the body of a crew member only known as John Henry was found,
oh,
and that many investigators have captured audio recordings of ghosts and seen apparitions in that area as well.
okay.
With the second and perhaps more powerful of the two being located in the changing area next to the swimming pool.
Uh, Somebody died in the changing area.
No, I
Oh,
don't
did
know
I
if
miss
it's just the
something?
energy concentrated there or what exactly,
Oh,
but
okay. I was like, did I
the
miss something about someone's demise?
no, one psychic said that the narrow hallway leading to the changing rooms was like the center of spiritual energy on the ship,
Okay.
and people often feel dizzy there or get goosebumps.
Ooh, okay.
And a few other hot spots are the engine room, the safe room, the art deck for bow storage, the wheelhouse, the propeller box, and the isolation ward, which is where they put sick and those diagnosed with contagious diseases away from all the other guests on the ship. And sometimes they held prisoners there.
Oh, wow. Oh, during wartime. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will say
Yeah.
everything that you just said, like all of those rooms and stuff, would either be awesome album titles or great like indie band names. Like the Propeller Room.
Yeah.
That's a good like indie band like album title.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also
So
a great place to get haunted.
yeah, the Queen Mary has been on quite a few TV shows, with
Sure.
the top ones being My Ghost Story, Most Haunted, and
Zach
our
Bagans.
favorite, Ghost
Yes. Yeah.
Adventures,
Yeah. I was like, our boy Zach is back. Wow.
during
Like
which Zach and his team recorded ghostly voices through EVP,
okay.
witnessed multiple orbs, and the apparition of John Petter.
No shit. Okay. Wow. Did they get that on camera? Because I would definitely tune in for
Let
that.
me check YouTube.
Like, I mean, Zach Bagans would totally play into that. Like if he found that he had footage of Mr. Petter, he would be like, "Oh, I'm all about it." He'd have that everywhere. He would also probably claim to have been possessed by him. Zach Bagans seems to be no, not that I'm throwing any shade at him, but he seems to be especially susceptible to like spirits entering him and like changing his demeanor.
Yeah. Um, I would probably have to search that episode specifically.
Oh, that's fine. But I mean, that's a lot of stuff to do. It's fine. It's enough for me to know that Zach Bagans has been there. I mean, that's just like that by itself
Yeah,
makes me happy.
it is wonderful. And that is the Queen Mary.
It's a scary tale.
Do we have a favorite ghost?
Ooh, that is a fantastic question. Oh, I I think I wanted to go with the my okay, my runner up is the bow of the ship where you hear crunching metal and like wave sounds or whatever,
Mm.
just because of the atmosphere, like the disturbance of it, but that's not necessarily like a ghost exactly. I think I have to go with the woman who is dancing in the piano room just like to music no
Oh,
one
Woman
can
in
hear.
White.
Yeah, yeah, just like completely nondescript, no history, and she's just there to party. I mean, in terms of ghosts that I would want to encounter, I definitely don't want to meet a child at a pool. I don't want to meet Mr. Guy who got cut down by a door. That seems like a horrible way to go. I also don't want to meet the first death, the guy who like fell off the scaffolding. Yeah, I'll party with Miss Piano Tequila lady. She sounds like she'd be a good time.
That's fair. That's fair.
Do you have a favorite one that isn't Miss Piano?
Um, I kind of feel like the other ladies by the pool would be fun, just
Oh
because
yeah.
like they're by the pool lounging.
It's like yeah,
Jackie
if
would probably scare me though.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't trust child ghosts
Well,
generally, or like
yeah,
ghosts that are like,
exactly.
I'm a little girl.
And then you have to see like the wet footsteps in a dry pool, and you're just like, no, even if she's
Yeah,
not like fucking with us, that's disturbing enough. Like, no, no thanks. But yeah, well, hopefully we can go there someday and see it for real because I want to see it like in person. I want to see it forever.
yeah.
Well, what did you think of our pairing for this week?
I liked it, but I mean, I feel like it's hard to not like Chick-fil-A
Yeah,
personally.
that's why I didn't.
I'd probably give it like an 8. It's not like it's some pretty damn good chicken, but it is not
Yeah.
like the greatest chicken I think I have ever had.
hmm I'm gonna go with a 7 only because this isn't any shot at Raising Cane's. I think they have some of the best chicken strips that exist, and their sauce that they have is amazing. But and I'm not trying to throw shade at Culver's. I might just be accustomed to Dairy Queen. My original plan was to get like the chicken strip basket and a shake from Dairy
Mhm.
Queen. But I was thinking back, like I'm pretty sure we have done at least one Dairy Queen like Blizzard episode, and for whatever reason, I'm like, I don't want to necessarily repeat it. And if we're doing chicken strips, I want to go to Raising Cane's. But I don't think that Culver's like custard that they have is quite as good as Dairy Queen soft serve. And as someone who has worked at a Dairy Queen, I know that we use this kind of really sugary strawberry syrup that has real strawberries in it, and it just makes for a slightly better shake. So there again, not to say that Culver's is bad. I just think that overall, in terms of just a sweet treat, it's not quite as good as a Dairy Queen strawberry shake. So I'm gonna take it down just a little bit. But otherwise,
It's
it's
fair.
delicious. Yeah. And listeners, if you have any recommendations for us, either for episode topics or pairings, you can email us at peculiarpairingspod@gmail.com. You can find us on the platform previously known as Twitter. My whole brain's just like dying right now. You can find us at Peculiar Pair Pod. You can find us on Instagram at Peculiar Pairings Pod. And you can also find us on Patreon and YouTube now.
Yeah, we
So
are
thank you,
we are
Celine.
everywhere.
And as it feels like democracy is crumbling, and prices are skyrocketing due to conflicts around the world that seem to be, at least in my opinion, unnecessary, that is causing some undue hardship on people. So, if you go to our Patreon and you feel like you can't contribute to anything, that's understandable. But whatever platform you're on, if you could give us a like and like maybe a 5-star rating and a review that says these guys are awesome, that would be, it's just a couple minutes of your time and it's totally free. And that would be great.
Yeah,
Yeah. So thank you very
it
much.
helps us out a lot.
It does. Yeah. We have an eternal fight against the algorithms of literally every single kind of platform, and with AI it just becomes even harder. Like they're integrating it into
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, it's like, so now you don't even know what's happening. But anyway, Celine, do we know what we're doing next week?
Potentially. I believe next week we have a Matt pairing.
Yeah, we do. And I am going to leave that where it is because I'm like, I've been learning a lot about myself over the past few years in terms of what motivates me and what gets me to do stuff. And I know that like hard, solid deadlines are a thing that motivates me to get things done. So I'm like, I'm leaving it in. I'm like, I was originally going to talk to you about like, maybe we can push it one more week, but that's what my brain does. And I'm like, no, I'm going to leave it in. So next week we are doing the history of whiskey, which I hope is good. Because I don't remember what prompted me to bring that up, but here's hoping it's great.
I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be great.
Well, and we flip the whole thing. So you get to do the pairings and I'm going to do the story. Hopefully it's not boring because like I said, I don't remember even like what sparked that in my brain, but here's hoping that it's a lot of fun. And if
It's
you
gonna be
want to
great.
if you want to find out if it is fun, join us next week. We thank you for joining us today and we'll see you next time. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Joe, and I'm the host of Tales, Trails, and Taverns. In this show, Rob and I like to take an active approach by hiking out to haunted, creepy, and abandoned places. We love the adventure and discovering the dark history of the locations we visit. We release a new episode every Friday on Apple, Spotify, and Patreon, as well as bonus episodes on varying Tuesdays. But don't just take my word for it, we have great listeners who have left some awesome reviews.
Oh, I love adventure, but during those times when I can't get to the outback, I like to listen to Tales, Trails, and Taverns. Those boys dig deep into the dark history, and their first-hand experiences really delivers the excitement. This podcast is a beaut. Back when I was the governor, I didn't have time to listen to podcasts. But now that I'm retired from politics, I can focus on my two passions, pumping iron and listening to Tales, Trails, and Taverns.
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is that we all listen to Tales, Trails, and Taverns.
I love listening to the podcast. Wait, what's a podcast again?
It's an audio show you listen to.
Oh, like on the radio?
Sort of, yeah.
Okay. I love listening to Tulips and Tiddlywinks.
It's Tales, Trails, and Taverns.
And what do you do again?
Hike to scary places and drink beer.
Sounds terrifying. Okay. I like to listen to Terrifying Tea Time, but not on the radio.
Okay, thank you. You did great.
You're welcome. Say, you're kinda cute. Is there a Mrs. Tales, Trails, and Taverns?
Now you get it?
No actual celebrities or political figures have endorsed Tales, Trails, and Taverns. All the reviews you've heard were written, poorly, by the host, George Lennox, as well as the impersonations of celebrities, politicians, and movie characters. I meant no harm, please don't sue me.